If it's not good, just leave it.
Welcome parents, families, and community members. We are so happy to have you present for our performance this evening. Please silence your electronic devices. We ask that you stay seated during the performance and flash photography is not permitted. The restrooms are located down the hall by the office where you came in from. Please refrain from using the bathrooms behind the stage as they are used by our drama team. Now excuse me while I go join the rest of the crew who are here to watch the trial of the Big Bad Wolf.
Hello, this is Sydney from AFN Enchanted Forest News, reporting live from the scene of what is sure to be the trial of a century. In a matter of moments, we're about to witness what's quite possibly the most impressive clash of legal minds this court, all this country have seen since once upon a time. After years of delay, we have finally had to witness the trial of the Big Bad Wolf. As many of you know already, Mr. the defendant, escaped a jail sentence when his criminal trial for 3 counts of puffing and puffing with an intent to destroy, 2 counts of attempted murder by ingestion, 1 count of grandmother impersonation, 4 counts of attempted chief abduction, and 17 counts of lurking ended in a mistrial, the result of a giant falling on the jury while they are determining the verdict. Now, a number of parties have brought a class action lawsuit against Mr. Wolf in an attempt to obtain some monetary compensation for what they feel has been an infringement on their rights by the now infamous defendant. It seems the counsel for plaintiffs, the unequaled Miss Ray Garmilla, has entered, accompanied by 2 of her clients, little Miss Red Riding Hood and the young client's grandmother, grandmother. Miss Ray Garmilla, any words for EFN?
Mr. Wolf is a depraved, cold, calculating killer, and it is only his celebrity status and his force that has saved him from the hands of criminal justice. His behavior is reprehensible, and is completely infringed upon my client's rights to live happily ever after. As you know, I have always fought to ensure that the good people of this forest get the ending they deserve.
Yeah, that wolf is gonna get it. We're gonna string him up by his toes and show him so all this money goes right here. And then me and Granny are gonna get ourselves a nice little condo with a pool and a.
Now sit down, dear. That is inappropriate behavior for television, and we don't want to waste anyone's time. You know that all of Godmother's thirds turns mice after midnight tonight.
Yeah, that's lame.
Yes, Jake.
Well, there you have it. Here come the other parties fighting against Mr. Wolf.
Excellent. Yes, I'd be 3 months plaintiff in this case. I would be happy to provide an interview if need be.
Thanks, but that's not really necessary. Maybe another time.
Hey, you're Sydney Graham, aren't you? Remember me? You come to the Mr. World Lumberjack back last year, didn't you? Well, remember me? I won Best in Flavor and Most Ruggedly Handsome. Yeah, Bill Woodcock. That's right. Boy, it's sure great to see you.
Right, yes, Mr. Woodcutter. Nice to see you. Ready for this year's pageant, are you?
I sure am.
Cindy Graham, AFM, uncovering the trial today?
Well, I'm an old shepherd. And this here's my boy. You see, the boy don't know his manners too well, so we're in a big mess. But we don't want no trouble. You see, the boy don't know his manners too well. I say again. And we just need a bit of money for some sheep I lost and pay medical for the boy here. He really needs them.
Yes, so you must be the boy who could.
Wolf? Yeah, with the two young. Look, I was just trying to have a little fun, okay? Like, frying ants in the back of my glass or little squirrels with homemade explosives.
You shut your mouth. He don't know the man.
He's just a little, boys will be
Right! Okay. Oh, here he is, the infamous Big Bad Wolf himself. This is a very intense courtroom right now. Just feel that tension. Oh, my deepest apologies. Mr. Wolf, Cindy Graham, AFM, uncovering the trial today?
Yeah, I guess.
Yes, and Mr. Wolf, who is your attorney and where is he?
She and, I don't know, her name's Eagle's stepmother. Have you heard of her? Apparently she's a big fancy lawyer who got put into some pro bono work she doesn't want to do. I don't blame her. For every other giant thing, I don't stand a chance, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you never know. Is there anything you would like to say to the viewers out there?
I got nothing to say to the world. The world's got nothing to say to me.
Okay.
All right, going to touch my old thing. It's a wrap. I may be old, but I'm still here. I got a body.
Ladies and gentlemen, they say that justice is blind. Well, if justice is blind and bad too blind, then justice must be a bad good, eh? You may be serious.
Yes, the renowned judge, Wise Owen, is presiding over the case today. Judge Man is known for his, well, wisdom. He's known to frequently apply his gift as a philosopher to any case. He is also known for his taste for magic beans.
In this court today, we are here to try an individual accused of many heinous acts. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'll ask you all to keep in mind that this important and difficult concept throughout the many grueling hours of this trial. The concept is that guilty is the opposite of not guilty, and not guilty is the opposite of guilty. That's it. Very well then. Shall we begin?
Your Honor, sir, I have no counsel.
Oh yes, right. Your counsel. Well, where's your counsel? Why is he not here? Did you use it? Did you check out your pockets? Under the seat cushions? Behind your refrigerator?
No, sir, I haven't.
Wow, you got a refrigerator? That's not what I did in your milk fresh. Oh, you're a lawyer, yes. She's a lot of fun. Miss Evil Step.
I apologize, Your Honor, everyone, for my lateness. Excuse me a moment. Well, just stay a minute. Again, I apologize to everyone.
Yes. May I inquire why you're late?
You know what? I come up with an excuse, but really, forget it. I don't do Robo's number, so I'm not all that excited about this case, to be honest with you. Plus, I've been pretty much doomed to failure, so I didn't really prepare a whole lot, and I was kind of pulling some things together at the last minute. And I was up late last night yelling at my stepdaughter with cinders at the fireplace. So I thought I would do it, and treat myself to a nice long breakfast with my colleague and witness over there. So, are we going to get this thing going? I've got a facial scheduled at 5.
Yes, of course. Right.
Objection! The trial hasn't even started yet. Your Honor, I object to that. That's an act. Clearly, she's making a mock of this courtroom, and you are allowing it.
Oh. Step. I'm in a prison. You see, being late is wrong is the opposite. Right is the opposite of left. Therefore, if you're late, I'll ask you. Now then, court is in session. Oh, order remarks, Miss Governor.
Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to correct a grave injustice. By chance, Mr. Wolf was spared the country he rightfully deserves. He is a depraved criminal. He has lurked in the force for years, preying on innocent little girls. Innocent little girls, innocent little pigs, innocent little old women, innocent little poison, innocent little sheep. My clients have been frightened, threatened, tricked, eaten, and robbed, and I am sure that I will be something else. Because of mere accident, this twisted being will not receive the punishment he rightfully deserves. So we must take from him everything we can. That beast over there must be left with nothing, because he has left my clients hurt, frightened, and homeless. Thank you.
Very good, Miss Governor.
No, I made it.
What?
Yeah, you heard me. No statement. Thanks, though.
Harold.
You're not even gonna try? You're not gonna do anything for me?
Look, Wolfie, nobody's gonna save you. And even if somebody were going to, it sure wouldn't be me.
I'm doomed. I'm gonna be robbed.
Oh, come on, you did all of it, didn't you?
Yes, but I don't know if anybody understands.
Miss Governor, call your first witness.
Understand what? I call to stand this little red light.
What it's like when it's like everyone hates you.
Miss Little Red Rider, do you swear the college go home and nothing but to help your cause of Christianity?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Fred, how are you?
I'd be a whole lot better friend than that monster's cash.
Right. Well now, Fred, why don't we tell the nice people on the jury what exactly happened between you and Mr. Wolf on the day in question?
Yeah, sure thing. Well, you see, I was walking through the woods, minding my own business, trying to get to my grandmother's house to bring her some bread. She's like old and sick and stuff. And then this horrible, scary wolf jumps out of nowhere and pretends to be all nice and stuff. But I know he's creepy, and I'm like, back off, wolf. And he's like, no, I'm nice and stuff. Why don't you take this shortcut, whatever, to get to your grandma's house? And I'm like, well, actually, shortcuts are great. I hate walking. It's for losers. So I guess this wolf would just make a shortcut or whatever. So I start walking. Turns out the freaking wolf didn't make it up. He gave me like a long cut or something. So that he could get to my grandma's house and eat her.
My word! He ate the girl! I'm so sorry for your child. What happened next?
Then he dressed into my granny and got her bed.
What? That isn't common. What sort of perverse reason do you have for doing this?
He wanted to trick me thinking it was my granny, so when I got close enough to the bed, he ate me.
And you two, consumption of a live human being is a felony, ladies and gentlemen, and an obvious deprivation of one's basic rights.
Oh, it was terrible. Until Mr. Woodcutter outside. It was so dark, clammy, and acidic in there.
Good. It sounds horrible here.
Oh, Buzz, I can't take it anymore.
There. Why don't you just go and sit you want to?
Why, yes, so it's all her things.
And can you tell us what you were wearing the day you encountered the defendant?
Those items,
Anything else?
just not known here. That's none of your business.
And is it correct that when your granddaughter encountered the defendant, he was wearing those same items?
Well, not the exact same item. I had a spare nightgown and bonnet, but only one pair of glasses.
And at this point, he had eaten. Is that correct?
It most certainly is.
So, not only did the big family eat, but he made a dear old lady with her eyeglasses, which she desperately needs in order to see before he did so.
Yes, it was terrible.
Terrible. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we've heard that word before, haven't we? Mrs. Hood's granddaughter described the events in the same way, and quite either way from time, as this is the nature. So, only did the defendant eat an old woman and her granddaughter? What insisted that the old woman knew her desperately needed eyeglasses? The kind of psychological strain Mrs. Hood must have observed would have been. That's all, sister. Your witness. I can give this one. Thank you so much. Mrs. Hood, let me ask you this.
Yes,
How did the defendant get you to remove your glasses?
um,
Did he just ask you? None of that is a mistake you gave the authorities. Your statement jumps from, the wolf came in to, he ate me to, then I was joined by my granddaughter and the wolf snuffed. That's all we get. Now what happened?
well, actually, I think that,
I see you're not wearing glasses today, Mrs. Hood. Do you own contact lenses?
yes,
And isn't it true you're in fact wearing contact lenses at the time Mr. Wolf entered your closet?
well, yes, this is true.
Ah, so you're able to see just fine then, weren't you?
Yes, yes, I was.
That is very interesting, Mrs. Hood. I think I'm just about done. No, I have one more question.
Yes,
What sort of carpet do you have on your floor, Mrs. Hood?
um,
In your bedroom, of course.
wolfskin,
Bullshit. Well, that is fascinating. Who made that carpet, Mrs. Hood?
my late husband and myself.
I see. No further questions, Your Honor.
Where did that come from?
Hey, baby, I studied work to borrow this cake. That doesn't mean I'm still not the best there is. Besides, baby, I like you a little bit on the side.
Well, that was a stunning turn of events. This case may prove more possible Miss Fairgarden than she thought.
Oh, shut up.
This is excuse. Ms. Gondry, will you have any comments?
Yes, I would like to call Mr. Bill Wood.
Mr. Bill, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole, and nothing but? So how can you honest Christian faith?
Mr. Woodward, what do you do for a living?
I'm a woodcutter. I cut wood. I also can be a lumberjack. I just want business plain old.
Yes, yes. So, as part of your job, you carry an axe. Is that correct?
Yes, I certainly do.
And you are licensed to use an axe in case of emergency, are you not?
I am.
In fact, is it part of the woodcutter's code that you must always respond to something you need?
It is part of the code, and I uphold that part of the code.
So, in other words, when you encounter an emergency, you are obligated to respond quickly and courageously.
Yes, I am.
And so you did, sir. You are a true hero, sir.
Well, thank you, ma'am.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Gondry,
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Woodcutter, let's talk about this woodcutter code, shall we?
Okay.
How do you know when there's an emergency in the woods that you need to respond to?
Well, it depends. But usually if I see something that looks wrong, I respond to it.
I see. You see then, do you? Well, tell me now, Mr. Woodcutter. What prompted you to go into Mrs. Hood's cottage that day? There seems to be nothing in the police report about why you went in. Did you hear a scream?
No. Not exactly.
Did you see the defendant enter the house and become suspicious?
No, party good. I was sleeping on
Snooping? Whatever for?
I was looking for privacy along the window.
I see. And why are you going to do that? I thought you were a hero.
Cutting wood don't pay so good. That's why I took it. But yours is the big money in first prize. And I was hungry.
And then, conceal something you happen to see in the window. What exactly?
I saw that there wolf right there, no lady's bed, in her clothes, taking his job.
Well, all right then. How did you know? I mean, absolutely know for sure that Mr. Wolf had eaten your friend and that you were justified in cutting him open. Because that's what you did, isn't it? You cut my client open with an axe, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
How did you know, Mr. Woodcutter? Couldn't Mr. Wolf have been a friend of Mrs. Smith that you didn't know of, one who occasionally likes to wear her nightgown? How do you know that he'd eaten your friend and that the two women weren't sleeping just in the other room?
Well, he's a wolf.
Oh, so you just cut him open because he's a wolf?
Yeah.
No other reason?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Another stern cross-examination from staff. This is interesting. Shut up. Why don't we go to the match?
Witness is excused. Stop it.
Yes, I also stand three little pigs. Objection! You can't call three witnesses at once. Your Honor, it is essential to my case in places people all the time.
It is?
Well, no, but they just don't testify together.
Why is that? Well, this is not unorthodox, but also, Counselor, what are you going to say? What is it?
My siblings are not really competent to testify without me.
You need
They're, immature?
No, you could say it. They're stupid. They're too stupid.
Oh, why say that? Stepmother?
I think our time for that.
Very well. Your little piggies, please take. The furry little pigs. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole, and nothing but the truth? So help me, honest Christian man.
Good. Now, would you please give me one more names?
How would I say your name? My name is
Oday.
Conan?
Don't worry about it.
T.
Well, I'm free.
Very well then. Now, Conan, can you tell me what happened to you in your house?
I built a house and then it fell down. And now I live in a house.
How did your house go?
A fox blew it down.
A fox? Are you sure it wasn't a wolf? A wolf?
What is a wolf doing here? He's not the one eating.
Calm down, calm down. Was that the creature that blew down your house?
That's a fox.
Okay. Anyway, Tiwa. Tiwa.
Oh,
Yeah.
Tiwa, did that creature also blow down your house?
no, I live in a nice house with no and everything. We've got a fireplace and a kitchen and
No. First house. Did he blow down your first house?
talking about.
Well, why did you do that before?
Yeah,
That wolf right there. Wolf? Oh no! Where? Calm down. You're safe. Now, would you care to tell your story before?
gladly, my dear lady. You see, my siblings and I had always lived together until last year when we decided to leave our parents and our childhood homes to build our own house, not too far away from each other, but far enough to grant ourselves a reasonable amount of independence. Well, one day, that blasted, bloated, maniacal wolf came around and we left both of my siblings' homes so that they came to live with me out of fear that he might attempt to eat them. We were so afraid for such a time. We barely ate, we barely slept, and our personal hygiene went to the dogs. Look at all this hair on my chin. I hadn't shaved in weeks.
Oh, you poor dear.
Yes, it was terrible.
Ladies and gentlemen, these poor pigs were so fat they couldn't even shave.
Yes, and he told us he would puff and blow our house down unless we let him in. And he called us little pigs.
Doesn't
Well, yes, but he said it in a really mean, nasty sort
sort of way that made me feel like he was trying to demean us. It hurt my feelings immensely.
Your Honor, this vote, I have no questions. I am too outraged with the defendant's behavior. Your Honor. Okay, tell me something.
I once tried to pickle my teeth.
What? No. I want you to see what your first house was made of. First house? Remember the one you told us about before?
I am straw.
Straw, I see. And you, T-Web.
And me.
Oh,
I am not kosher.
what? Oh, no, I don't want you to just tell me something. I want you to tell me what your first house was made of. No, it doesn't. Yes, what was your first house made of?
Oh,
Sticks, I see. And you, three. What is the house in which you three now reside? The house in which you constructed, what is it made of?
bricks.
Bricks. And it has to run over by means of wolf or anything else?
No,
And it's like all the building codes, I assume.
of course. What do you think?
Now, what about your siblings' former home? Are straw and sticks building materials approved by the zoning board?
No.
I didn't think so. Do you think your siblings' home would last as long as, say, a hurricane or a tornado or, well, in a late freeze?
No.
But they're very safe and cozy now, aren't they?
Yes.
I think I'm just about done, but you know, I have one more question.
Yes?
Did my client ever say he was going to eat any of you?
No.
So how do you know that's what he wanted to do? How do you know he wasn't just trying to make sure your homes were safe and secure?
Well,
No further questions, Your Honor.
Really? I mean, what is this our excuse?
Your Honor, I have no more news.
Oh, I saw this cannabis for whole show. Mr. Bullshit, you swear to tell the truth, the whole, and nothing else. So help you on Christian Anderson.
Thank you so much. Now, would you mind telling me what it is you do?
Well, I'm a shepherd. I heard the sheep.
Yes, and can you tell us who that boy is over there?
Well, that's my boy. I left my sheep sometimes.
I see. And what did he tell you one day?
Well, there were actually 3 days.
Why don't you just tell us what happened on the third day?
All right, well, on the third day, the boy cried out that there was a wolf in the field, and the wolf stole and ate some of my sheep, and threatened the boy up a tree.
See,
And none of this done came up from the village because he only has 2 days.
that's really. Thank you so much, Mr. Shepherd.
All right.
Yes, go in, Miss Thompson. I'll be brief, Mr. Shepherd. Why don't you just tell us what happened on the first 2 days you mentioned?
Well, on the first day, the boy cried out that there was a wolf in the field, and there was, and all in the village, everything up to what was going on, and there was no wolf, and he did the same thing on the second day, so on the third day, none of us came up to see what was going on.
So your boy isn't very reliable, is he?
Oh, well, no.
And no one but the boy actually saw my client steal the sheep or threaten the boy.
No, but,
So the only way we can know that it was this particular wolf is by hearing what the boy has to say, isn't it?
I suppose so.
This man's testimony is essentially hearsay, Your Honor.
Yes, why are you so calm?
You're excused, Mr. Shepherd.
Does the council for the places have any further witnesses?
No.
Seven.
Yes, the defense would like to call a surprise hostile witness. The defense calls the boy who cried wolf.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be very
Objection!
Come on, man. I don't want to. Oh, I'm afraid. All right, thank you. Mr. Boyd, right? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you on Christian Anderson.
Very well. Tell me something, young man. Did you ever on any day see a wolf in the field?
Yeah, on the third day, just like my own guys said.
All right, well, why did you pretend on the other days?
Because I thought it'd be funny. It was. You knew the looks on their faces.
Are you certain the wolf you saw was my client?
I mean, I guess. They'll say
with those wolves. And I'm just wondering, why specifically did you cry wolf rather than something else when there was no wolf?
Because wolves are bad, you know, big bad.
Oh, everyone knows wolves are just naturally bad, huh? But not little boys, huh?
What are you driving at, baby?
Are you aware that a drink emergency call is a crime, young man?
Yes, we're going to drink the road, my car.
So you knew you were breaking the law when you cried wolf.
Heck yeah.
But wolves are naturally bad.
Look, I don't think from you.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Commander?
Look, can I just go? I've got some live fish and flush down the toilet.
No questions, Your Honor.
Wow, you sure are something.
You know, my friend, things might not be as bad as we thought.
Witnesses is excused. Ms. Duncan, you have another witness.
Yes, I would like to call an expert witness to the stand, the renowned psychiatrist Nancy Bucket. She is the top wolf specialist in the field with hands-on experience in the deep, dark woods.
Miss, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole, and nothing but? So help me honest Christian names.
Oh, I don't like swear.
Well, my great question.
All right, I swear.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You may be seated.
No. I need a chocolate.
A tuppet, Georgie, a tuppet.
Oh yeah, Tuffet. Yo, so go back to our Tuffet, please. Oh, they have.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, she's a bit neurotic, but she's the best psychiatrist around. If you have a tuppet anywhere, what's taking so long?
Well, Miss Tuffet requires a,
A tuppet. I need a tuppet. I can't sit without a tuppet.
yeah, well, she's, like I always say, no such thing as good psychiatry. Yeah, skirting Tuffet. Why is that? I was as good as decent as a Tuffet.
I'm not sure. I think she just made it up. Why don't we just have her say it?
Very well. Miss Tuffet, instead is unable to provide you with this Tuffet. Do you mind saying?
Oh, my legs are so tired. I need a tuppet.
Please.
Well.
This is ridiculous. Just sit already.
As a wise man once said, courage away, your day's okay.
Yes, of course, Your Honor. In any event, I apologize for the behavior of my witness. May I simply call my final witness?
Yes, of course.
I would like to call Mr. Big B Wolf.
Mr. Big Bad, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole, and nothing but? So help me with honest Christian names.
Mr. Wolf, why don't you just tell the court what you have to say about all of this?
Yes, I'd like to. I'm not sure where to begin. I know I won't few words, but here goes. When I was just a cub, I lived a pretty carefree life. I stayed with neighbors who played with my brothers and sisters. My mother brought us home to dinner. But one day, she brought me something different, a human baby. We raised the baby as one grown, and I left my sister when she was a wolf. One day, she returned to her people, and I never saw her again. I swore that day that I would protect and love creatures of other species, and I swore I would enjoy tigers and wolfhood and became vegan. But one day, I was in the field of sheep looking for dandelions. A boy began to cry out, "Wolf, wolf, he's taking the sheep, he's gonna eat me." I suddenly became enraged. How could this boy suspect me of doing exactly which I swore never to do? I kept yelling at him, trying to tell him I was a good wolf. The more I yelled, the angrier I became. In a blind rage, I took some of the sheep and scared the boy half to death. I ate their sheep that night. After that, I tried to put my wits together, but every time I would encounter a creature of another species, he or she would run from me, distrust me, or do something of the sort. I never meant to hurt anybody. Gradually, I turned to a life of crime. I did all the things I've been accused of. I admit it, but I asked them only for once. You have mercy on me? Maybe. Just maybe I'll be able to. That's all I have.
Thank you, Mr. Wolf.
Ms. Conley, any questions?
No.
Very well.
Stop trying to stop me. adopted human sister of the accused. Miss Aragon then delivered a brief closing statement in which she restated the facts brought out by her witness. Miss Eaglestone, the defense, informed her that Mr. had shown he had not been born with him, but made him, simply because the society in which he lived in viewed him as such. And with that, as Miss Ford had said, if the court wished to show some compassion, the first that Miss Ford had ever known, his ways might begin to change. And with that, I'll take you back to the courtroom, where the jury is about to deliver its final verdict.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'll ask you all to give us a vote.
But they haven't even left the room.
Well, we don't have time, okay? Nobody likes you. I know the elders are just, lawyers got in the way, witnesses time, and those judges. Ha! Joking, sorry.
You're not gonna send them out to the living.
No, there's nothing left. What's easier? Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm going to need your help. Before asking for a decision, I ask for this. Words that may help you along the way. Words that, even though they're coming from a wise man, you still keep your hearts in the chest. And that is, juries are like submarine sandwiches. They are the best. The mayo, pardon? Now, case of are you ready?
You know, Pam, I'm glad I got forced into the case. I know where you're coming from. I need to talk to my stepfather.
When I raise my gavel, I like anyone that thinks that the defendant, Mr. Baby Book, is guilty. That's guilty with J. With a G. I like anyone that thinks that the defendant, Mr. Baby Book, is guilty with a G. To applaud as loudly as they can. I like anyone that thinks that the defendant, Mr. One for him. Anyone thinks that the defendant, Mr. Baby Book, is innocent, I'll applaud now. The jury has reached a verdict, and they say that the defendant, Mr. Bigby Wolf, is, drum roll please, innocent of all
Well, we did it.
Yeah, thanks a ton.
You bet.
You wanna go grab a steak after this?
Huh? And I'll becoming a vegan again?
Are you kidding? I taste for savory. Me.
You mean?
You did great. Thanks a ton. No, I'm trying to change mom, but right now I can't wait to get me a steak. Maybe some lamb chops.
But
I'll go with you, brother.
It's nice to see you, sis. I'm really a touchy-feely kind of guy. You need to chill out. Go to bathe, keep my strength. Thanks again, ladies. See you around.
I can't believe it.
Well, that's it, folks. The case of the Big Battle has officially come to a close, and it seems that Mr. has gotten off scot-free. Your Honor, is there anything you'd like to say to the viewers out there? Any final words of wisdom before we sign off?
Well, you see, my mother, who was a wise woman, always once told me, when there's a wall, there's a window. And when there's window, there's glass. And when there's glass, sometimes a baseball will go through that glass. You have to pay a lot of money to fix it. That's it. Thanks, Kate.
Thank you. Thank Thank you, very inspiring. Well, that's it for this is Sydney Griffin for EFM saying, may your ever afters always be happy.
Thank you very much for coming tonight. The kids have been wonderful this evening, and I've enjoyed working with them. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our cast. We have Elena Adams as Snow White. Adam Goldsby as Belle. Harry Gray as Sleeping Beauty. Natalie Goodman as Cinderella. Lisa Patrick as Rapunzel. Abigail Roseberry, Maid Marian. Caitlin Ridley as the Swan Princess. Brandon Sherman as Rebel. And Nancy Hall Hans. All right, pick the bell, ladies. I'd like to call in to join us on stage, Peyton Lusk, Miss Muffet. Brandon Dillard, Big Bad Wolf. Paul Williams, Bill Whitcomb. Sarah Shepherd. Annabelle Thompson, Lady Smith, Kate Oden. Also related, Kate Tico. Alison Burstall, Kate Free. Lily Dixon, Brandon Hurd. Mandy Cole, Little Red Riding Joey Rudd, Judge Weisselman. Eliza Morrison, the evil stepmother. Elizabeth Wesson, fairy godmother. And Sarah Burrow, Sydney